Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thank you for watching us today. On the program is Avihai Degani, and he is the CEO and president of IP Gallery. Hello, Avi, and welcome.
Hi.
So thank you for being on the program.
Thank you for inviting me.
So tell me a little bit about IP Gallery, please.
IP Gallery is developing products, and I think that what we do in a different way is that we do not just develop by implementing standards. What we do is we try to tune the products to the needs of our customers, the traditional and legacy service providers, and to actually provide them with solutions to the challenges that they are facing, competition coming from the over-the-top, dropping of prices, working with relatively small teams. So in this very competitive marketplace, we provide them with voice, video, and data solutions on top of either 3G, and we are developing solutions for the upcoming 4G, LTE, or WiMAX.
Great. So if I'm a traditional carrier, I'm a typical carrier, and I'm wondering if I should call, what would be the reason that I should call you, the main reason?
The traditional service providers, if we talk about the legacy network, TDM-based network, the access or getting revenues from private consumers has been exhausted. We provide with solutions for the enterprise, for the business communities, like fixed mobile convergence, mobile PBX, virtual private network. For those who plan to go to next generation network, those who are implementing or deploying IMS, we provide them with advanced applications, converged applications, to sit on top of the converged network that they are now building.
Okay, so that makes sense. And that helps them with increased revenue generation and ROI from the products they're purchasing from you.
I would like to take this opportunity just to mention that we believe that revenue models are being changed. If we look at what's going on with Ovi, with Apple Store, new solution or application providers, they put the system on top of the core network. We do it in a different way. We do cloud computing, and we enable the service provider to offer more services on a clientless based solution. So the revenue model is dependent on the application. Some of the applications will be added as premium services, but some will be adding more revenues by indirectly by enabling the service provider to get more consumers, like AT&T did with the iPhone. The iPhone cost a lot, but AT&T managed to get a lot of new consumers by means of the iPhone. We do something, the same idea. We enable the service providers by providing them with cloud-based advanced features and services to offer more features and services. And what we do in this sense is we build gateways between the traditional world and the new social media.
Okay. Okay. So does that involve having some sort of application that lives on the phone, or is there a web-based client? How does it work physically if I have a device?
We believe that in order for the service providers to be profitable in an era where prices drop down, the only way to do it is to eliminate some expenses. One of the expenses that they have is investing in client software, both on the set-top box and on the cellular telephone. So the idea is to have everything browser-based, no clients at all. By having everything web-based with browser, the service providers don't really have to invest in clients. They can move faster. If the marketing guys come and they ask for a new function, it's very, very fast to write it in the network, in the cloud, instead of just writing everything on various types of phones. And last but not least, every time there is a new phone going out, there is no need to start writing all the applications again. So doing everything web-based, to combine actually the web and the traditional network, enables the service provider to both offer more services, make more money, and what's not less important, to cut on the expenses.
So, can you give us an example of what sort of integration you would allow the carrier to have with some social networking services that would be something that a customer may be interested in using or paying for?
Yeah, what we enable the end user is to do from one centralized point transparently, either chat with each social media, to create or to establish phone sessions to any type of network, and to do it in a transparent mode. This is the benefit for the end user. The benefit for the service provider is that they keep the consumers in their network. What we believe is and I think I mentioned it before, the revenues for the service providers will be the number of subscribers, the number of consumers multiplied by some kind of revenues per subscriber. So one of the ways to make money is to get as many consumers as you can. But if you have a consumer if a consumer wants to make a chat and he logs on to Facebook, the service provider lost him at the very same minute. And if Facebook is offering now voice, the consumer that went into Facebook, logged into Facebook to chat with a friend, he will now click and make a phone call.
So what you're saying is that if you keep if the carrier can keep the customer inside of kind of an interface which has access to all of the areas that the customer wants, whether that's social networking or some other services, then you at least are keeping them in an application, a web-based application that represents the interests that they have. So maybe that they design that application with widgets to maybe I want to work on this social network, but I also want to work on, let's say Facebook, but I also want Foursquare, so my location information is disseminated. And that's another question, is how do you get the GPS information to go up via the web, but maybe you can address that. And so you become the center of the universe for the consumer, and you allow the potential for disintermediation from someone like a Facebook to happen, where they can come in and steal a customer, or a Google Voice, or somebody who's trying to take the customer and steal minutes and revenue.
Yeah, in the current networks, the consumers go over the high-speed data, log into any other social media, for voice, Google Voice, Skype, Facebook, MySpace, whatever. We enable them to do everything, but we keep them at the environment of the service provider. So the service provider can offer them advertisement, can offer them more services. Once they logged into another network, in a sense, they are lost. They are using only the high-speed data. Now, from the service provider point of view, the service providers are investing a lot of money in the infrastructure,
sure,
in the IP core, in the access, in the IMS core. The IMS core is the platform to enable those services and to enable them in a very high quality of service. Because if you do it over the internet, if you make a Skype call, people do not realize, but if Skype is having 500 million users, but they don't have subscribers, they don't have customers. If you have a problem, you cannot call the contact center of Skype and complain. If you have problems, you cannot call dial 611 and get help on how to make the installation, or how to make a call. The service provider, the legacy, we as user demand from the service provider more than we demand from those who are over the top. So what the service providers are offering to the consumer is what we are looking. Quality of service, customer support, and all the features, everything is blended in a transparent way.
Okay, one final question. What are some of are there any new products or services that we can expect?
Yeah, so far we did data, chat, and voice, and now we are adding content and video on top of the same network. The IMS standards support content on top of the network, and content is following, video is following the voice. The OV store, all the types of stores and applications that run on top, the core network for voice, the same is going to happen with the content. We are working now to bring the content and as another application like OV store on top of the IMS. So the legacy service providers have the means to compete against the Apple VOD new application or new service, and they can do it again. The fact that they do it on top of the network is not only providing the VOD, but providing the VOD with customer care, providing the VOD with the right resources for the video. Everything is controlled by the IMS. And our solution is integrated. What we bring is an integrated solution, not only in terms of features, but integrated into the core, integrated into the IMS, integrated into the OSS, BSS. So the solution is manageable and enable the service provider to provide it with the best quality of service.
Great. Thank you so much for being on the program. This was great.
Thank you.
Very nice
Thank
to see
you.
you.